welcome to How I Spent the Apocalypse. A huge waste of time. So sometimes I do things that may or may not be genius. But at the time, they seem genius. And you go, what a great idea. Then, usually when I'm asleep, when I wake up in the morning, I'll think of something and I go, oh shit, that didn't need to be done, or that's not as easy. So here's what happened. Let's go back. Let us go back in time. Remember when I had the brilliant idea to stick the pipe in the wall so I could put the hose through it? Okay. But do you need it? Here.
I'm good.
You can use that one then. I'll get it cleaned on later. Okay, so I had the brilliant idea to put the pipe in the wall so I could put the hose through it. Brilliant, right? Okay, so then I realized this morning that it was unnecessary and it just made things harder. And it was gonna, I kept thinking, man, I don't really want the hose reel in my little patio I want to build here. But that's where it came out. Then I realized, hey, dumbass, this is a fucking deck. It's open on the side. Guess what you can do? You can get this out of here. And run the hose right behind this and then underneath the ramp.
And let it go through the front.
Come out over here. Yeah, because this is where I need it, over there. Where did I put it? It's way back there. No, there it is. There it is. Okay. So here we go. See? Oh, that's much better. And now I can put my hose reel here, where it doesn't, we don't have to look at it. And it's much more handy to everything I have to do. But what a brilliant idea I had. Okay. So this morning, I came out. I got out here about 7 o'clock and got to work. I did not wake Zeb up because Zeb does not feel good. He's dealing with at least some kind of sinus thing, if not a summer cold, or any of the other horrible shit that's going around. So I let him sleep until about 30 minutes ago, Bope?
Yeah, probably.
Probably about 30 minutes ago. So while he was asleep, this is what I did. I finished that above there, and I realized I didn't want these little holes here where the overlap was. So I cut little boards and stuck in there. So it looks more or less solid, right? Okay, so come on up in here and I'll show you. Yeah, rest there, show you. So, I put this in. This is a trim board. It goes out the width of what I need and it just trims the window out, covers up a multitude of sin, and now I'm ready to paint the outside and trim it. Okay, I realized while those boards are going, okay, so this is not just why are you doing that? That seems like a lot of work for nothing thing. It's actually good for strength, plus it's easier to put the boards on that way. Putting the boards up and down is harder than putting them across. So these boards in here will go across this way. So I had to put this in, because I have to have something to nail boards to here as I come up to cover up that board that's holding up the weirdness on the end of the house. So I had to put that in. And then I put these in because when I put this one in, that makes it you can't nail the boards to this. So I put these in for nailers. That's why. It doesn't matter. They're just little pieces. That's all. All they're doing is holding up the wall board. I had to put one over there too. Okay, so down here, I got this board in over the big opening here on the deck. Then I got the boards in here, the nailers, for the outside here. These don't matter that they're not as wide because, again, these boards go this way. They wouldn't be nailed to that anyway. Well, I would, but it wouldn't be necessary. So I was able to use that. I used pieces of pallet board. I put 2 of them here so that it would be nice and solid, but because there was a cutout here and a cutout here, so I put 2 of them together and made a solid board. And then, okay, so this one was the one. This is the other thing that my brain fixed in the middle of the night. The other thing my brain figured out was how to cut this board, which was basically just remembering how you do it. Okay, so I had to cut this great big fucking angle on this board all the way down and figure this angle. Figuring this angle, gonna be hard. You can't just stick it through because of everything that's in there and do it that way, which is, as we know, the way I normally do it. So what you have to do is, you measure your outside length and you mark your board. Then you measure the width of the board you're using over, and when you figure out where that is, then you go up on that end, and then you draw a straight edge between them, draw your line, and you get a perfect edge. So this is done. That's good. So that's what I did this morning. Now, so like I keep saying, while you're sleeping, that's what REM sleep is. But while you're asleep, your brain downloads all the things that you have seen or thought of or are trying to figure out. It downloads them, and then it problem solves while you're asleep. It's kind of one of the most amazing things about the human brain. When you don't get enough sleep, when you don't get REM sleep, as we all know, your body starts to shut down, you start having all kinds of problems. This is why let Zeb sleep. Because Zeb needs to process stuff, he needs to get well, his body needs a chance to rest. We often put our sleep, I am probably more guilty than a lot of other people, we often put sleep as a low priority in the things we do in our day. But really, sleep is super important. You can hear it, doesn't sound good. Okay, people, I think that's all I did today. So now we have to clean up the mess because Tony, the roofer, is supposed to come today and unload all the stuff he needs for the job to roof. And we are definitely ready right now for Tony to roof. There's nothing that needs to be done between now and him putting the roof on. Everything that needed to be done is done, plus some. And, oh, and that's what, okay, that's what I'll show you. Look here. So no roof yet. It's hot today already in the sun. But no roof yet. But if you come inside, you can see that this little piece of wall, even though there's a giant hole in it on purpose, is shading this whole area. You step into that shade and it's cooler. Isn't it, Bobe?
Already.
Yeah, it's already cooler. So you step into the shade. So when the roof's on and this whole thing is covered, it's going to make a huge difference. But even this partial wall, and the same with that partial, that wall more than this one. Because this is morning sun. Morning sun is not here, at least. Morning sun is not as hot. The afternoon sun is what's a booger. And so you wouldn't think it, but this partial wall here and this wall here, this is going to be a solid wall with no window in it. That's going to shade, and there'll be some light that'll come into this. We don't know how much yet. There'll be some that comes in here. Like I said, we won't know till the roof's on how much and the walls are on how much. But it's still going to shade it a lot. Those little things make a difference, but you still want massive amounts of airflow, which we're going to have because this is open, that doorway, that window, and this whole front thing is open. So it's going to still be massive airflow. So, okay, that's it for today, peeps.